From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us a little early. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, more details tonight surrounding an officer-involved shooting in Central Billings last night that left one man dead.
This was a rapidly evolving incident that took place under 30 seconds, and it could have been disastrous.
The chief says a suspect resisting arrest pulled a gun on officers before the officers fired off multiple rounds. Although none of the officers were wearing body cameras, the chief says there were several dash cams rolling that will be used in evidence during this investigation. Here's Q2's Mitch Laggy with more details from police.
Billings Police Chief Rich St. John said that the incident happened in under 30 seconds, and two officers fired multiple shots that killed the 29-year-old man from Box Elder. It started on the 2200 block of Avenue C underneath the awning of a covered apartment complex parking lot. A neighbor called in two suspicious vehicles that were parked at odd angles around 10:20 p.m. Monday night. 4 police officers arrived and found 3 total suspects, 2 of whom were in vehicles, while the Box Elder man stood over the open hood of a car, appearing as if he was working on the engine. Police tried to detain the man for questioning, but he would not comply. Officers struggled with the man on the ground while he was lying on his stomach. They were trying to get his hands out from underneath his body and deployed a taser that had no effect. St. John said the man pulled a semi-automatic pistol from his waistband area and pointed it at police. Officers Ryland Nelson and Justin Bickford fired multiple shots at the man. It's not clear how many were fired or how many hit the man, but he died in a Billings hospital overnight from gunshot wounds. St. John said the initial investigation found that the man did not shoot any rounds at police. 2 officers, both 3-year veterans of the department, are currently on administrative leave. The city of Billings has seen its fair share of shootings this year. St. John said the problem is very multifaceted, but drugs like methamphetamine generally play a role in the crimes.
I mean, obviously we have our drug issue. Methamphetamine plays prevalent here. As I stated, that these individuals last night are known to law enforcement. They're known to be involved in drug activity. One of the cars was stolen. We know that the Highway Patrol have chased them a couple times. So you just have that type of reckless behavior. Now we introduce firearms. The one thing that we're starting to see is some random acts of violence, which is very concerning. Historically, most of the stuff that we've seen has been some sort of acquaintance, drug deal gone bad, angry at somebody, whatever the case may be.
St. John said police don't know why the suspects stopped at the apartment building in the first place. None of the officers were wearing body cams, but multiple dash cams on patrol cars recorded audio and video. Billings police will investigate the incident and turn their information over to the Montana Department of Justice and Yellowstone County Attorney's Office for third-party review. In Billings, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
Thanks, Mitch. Now, St. John says the other 2 suspects were questioned and released at the scene. Detectives did find a syringe and baggies with drug residue in one of the vehicles. Well, Governor Steve Bullock is currently holding a news conference to address the rising COVID numbers in Montana and new steps being taken in some communities, including Yellowstone County. Bullock says Billings now has the 18th highest metro rate in the country for COVID cases per capita.
And these additional measures are certainly critically important. We know that large social gatherings continue to be the biggest threat to our ability to get our hands around this virus. Large crowds not only increase the likelihood that someone has the virus and will pass it on to others, it also makes the contact tracing work of local public health that much more difficult. The fewer the people, the less likelihood of contracting the virus.
Bullock again asking all Montanans to do their part. Now, that news conference is taking place right now on our Q2 Facebook page. We'll have more on that coming up in tonight's MTN News at 10 o'clock. Well, 5 more deaths and another 500 plus confirmed cases of coronavirus across Montana today. Bighorn County reports 2 more victims from earlier this month. The state also reports 1 death in each of Blaine, Rosebud, and Valley counties. MTN now reports 223 deaths total across the state. Yellowstone County with the most new cases today at 92. Followed by Roosevelt with 63. And touching bases in 2 local counties that reported deaths. Bighorn County, there are 9 new cases reported today. And in Ponderay, 5 new cases. Overall, Montana has more than 7,000 active cases. We are now 3rd in active cases per capita in the nation, behind the Dakotas. Well, here's an update on COVID cases and deaths in the Cowboy State. Wyoming has now seen 57 deaths. The total number of confirmed cases sits at more than 6,700. Of those, more than 5,000 have recovered. 3 of the hot spots are in Fremont, Albany, and Laramie counties. Well, more changes are coming to the Montana high school sports calendar. Today, the MHSA announced it will delay winter sports practices until December 7th and hold all competition until after the new year. Now, the changes were agreed to in today's monthly meeting. This means there will be at least 2 weeks between the end of the fall sports season and beginning of winter. Competition will be allowed in the first full week of January, starting Monday the 4th. Championship dates have not been pushed back, meaning state wrestling and swimming are still scheduled for mid-February, though both competitions will likely face format changes to adhere to COVID guidelines. Well, the final weekend of fall sports season is set for November 20th and 21st. Metro Park will cancel all upcoming events through November 9th. The Board of County Commissioners says in a press release the decision came after Yellowstone County health officers limited group gatherings to 25 people. Metro Park staff has since been directed to inform promoters and vendors who have rented a space at Metro Park of those cancellations. Now, the commissioners say the decision to cancel events at Metro Park was not made lightly, as they understand the need for events in our community, but without doing so, they feel they could not ensure adherence of the new restrictions. And Billings Public Library also takes action after yesterday's announcement. The library will close its doors to the public starting tomorrow, October 14th. During this time, library staff will continue curbside service. Curbside service hours will not change. The library will also continue to offer all online services and remote programs. Now, for more information, visit ktvq.com. Up next on tonight's MTN 530 News on Q2. The political tug-of-war over confirmation of Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett also impacts Montana. We'll take a closer look. And check this out. Up-close video of man versus nature. Find out how this runner escaped this stalking cougar.
And coming up in weather, we are looking at a major weather pattern change, one that will bring snow to the Billings area this weekend, measurable snow. We'll chat about it coming up in a few more minutes.